Hi, it's Brandy Alexander with your weekly reading from July 16th to July 22nd. I hope that you've been having a very exciting time in your holidays, if you've had any, and that some of you have traveled and would have found some new thoughts that came into mind, new ways of being. So let's get underway and see what's happened. We've got the Six of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Magician. So let's start off with this. This has a lot of great meanings to it. Some of you that have already made your changes, or maybe even if you haven't made your changes yet, it's about you thinking about the good old days and, oh, remember everything was better way back when. There's an element of glorifying the past and adding memories that perhaps are more spectacular than they really were. It's important to be real and remember the whole aspect of it. There's also it's all about emotions, and there is an element of being worrisome about some of the new places that you're at in your life, but the hoods show the fear, but it is going to be okay. Some of you might be getting offers from someone and you're not so sure. It's in its infancy, and see the night watchman, he's at the background. He's kind of keeping an eye on things. So if you've got things set up, and don't go in foolhardedly, is that the word? Don't be foolhardy about it. You'll be fine. Yeah, everything will be fine. But a lot of this is about the past, and you can't go back. You can't go back to the way things were. Things are always changing. They're always in flux. So this is about offers. This is about not being as fearful as you are, as long as you've investigated properly. And it looks like there are things lined up already for you, and emotionally there's some lovely things, but you could see at the very end there's one flower that's kind of droopy, and that could be the reality of something, which is okay as long as you know about all of it. Then that's all right. Or it could be that you're going into something with that thought of, oh, I don't know if I really want to do that. It's important to clear your mindset. We talked a lot about that last week. And I think this week is really about clearing your mindset. What you put into your head is sort of the results you'll reap. We've got that choices card again. You know, we had this 2 weeks ago. And it is about choices you've made and choices you can make. And, you know, don't stall. If some of you are still stalling, it's really important to get a move on. I mean, you should have had your time now exploring it all. I guess it depends where you are in your life, but, you know, look at two sides of everything. You know, some of you will just want the money, the riches, but if you don't look at the other things behind how you get the riches, if it's sneaky, like I said last week, don't do it. Some of you just want the power and the glory. Some of you are wanting different relationships, and that's all okay. Or moving, but that's all okay as long as you're exploring all the angles of it. Don't just go in with this dreamy notion. So lots of feelings and emotion around these choices, but according to this card, it should all be okay. There's people around keeping an eye on you, and also I really like the way the girl in that, she's like, oh yes, that's lovely. It's nice if things are being offered to you. Everyone likes, you know, that to be part of the attention or being offered some good things, but it's important to know the whole story behind what's being offered. And the Magician, as it is above, it is below, and he's got a lot of lots of great symbolism in here. He's got the eternity symbol, which to me is and it is a major arcana card, so for some of you it is your time to make changes. It's a very lucky card, I believe. Excuse me. It has feelings, it has offers of money, it has what goes around comes around, but it's really, there's some new beginnings here, and a lot of it has to do with your thoughts. So be very careful what you wish for, and make sure it's really, really clear with what your intents are. Some of you are cutting ties, or you have the ability to cut ties if you choose, and it's all just yours, ripe for the picking. I think I'll tell you a little story about why I have that painting behind me. Years ago, when I lived in another land, there was a very flat beach where I used to go, and it was aqua water just like behind me. And I said to my friends, I would love to live and go to a beach, first of all, where there weren't any people, because the beach I went to was just as crowded as this one that's in the background. And I said, and I'd like to see a mountain over here and a mountain over here. And I moved to the other side of the world, and lo and behold, the beach that I frequent has a mountain over here and a mountain over here, and it's exactly what I had set in my mind and my intention those many years ago. And there aren't any people at the beach, hardly ever actually. You just might see the odd person going for a walk. It's just lovely. So it's important for you to be clear. I have many, many, many more stories of how I had intent and I visualized something and I got the outcome, but sometimes I miss some of the detail, and it's really important. That's why I go detail, detail, detail. You really need time to sit, breathe, think about the whole story, be in the story that you want, so that you don't miss any of it, and put the positive slant on it all in your brain, so that your brain and your mind and all of your people that are off in spirit are able to help you. So until the next view, hit subscribe if you like. You have to sign into Google. Share it with your friends. Brandy Alexander Circle of Light on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll be doing private readings, like I said. If you choose to, you can message me for the information about that and costing and how you go through all of that. And I wish you really well. So be very clear. This continues on and on, but some of you are already definitely on your way. You've made your choices, and I just am astonished at how almost every week these cards keep coming up almost the same thoughts, same sort of theme. And let me just pull another random one. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, yep. This card, the Five of Swords, it is important for some of you who are moving on to be very careful of your words. Some of you want to have the last little stab or dig at somebody, or somebody might be doing it to you, and don't get caught up in that. Some people don't know how to let go nicely. Not everyone knows how to be kind, and some people will be hurt by, this is words that are hurting people, and it could have been words that have already hurt people, but it's the good thing is that somebody is there to support you, and it might even be somebody that you found was part of the problem, but so you will have backup, and just be very careful of your own words if in any dealings that you're doing. So be really careful. Somebody's really just wanted to hurt someone, and they're doing anything to spite them. They don't really care. So interesting that in amongst all of this, maybe that's helpful for you. You might need to cut your ties, but do it with dignity. Okay? So good luck with everything, and I will see you next week.